Coach, the weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. Got an open man, it's Washington. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. And they will finally get him down, but not before he takes this to the Falcons' 9. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
From the 5-yard line, will this opening drive yield 6? This is 3rd and goal. Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. He'll get this to Eckler. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Murray and company going for it on 4th. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. His 4th touchdown on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Ready? 93's the mic. 93's the mic. They can't hang with us.
On 1st and 10, Fields. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Fields. And he fires one incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Makes it 3rd and 4. Ready? What's the plan? Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Looking to throw. Fields. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now 1 in the first quarter. What do they do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move, but the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. What do you have, 4 in the game last week? Without having some go-to moves with counters.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Chicago. Mike Williams, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. Bullet good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Set, ready. Hey, go. Hey, check. Tight into the right, boy. Tight into the right. Move.
Back to throw. Fields. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Zadarius Smith, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. On the return is Cohen. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time, and the Bears take over. An update from Buffalo. The Bills out to an early lead against the Patriots. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 42. They started on the ground with Eckler. Oh, he's got a little daylight. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, Thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bobby Wagner, the former 2nd rounder out of Utah State with a sack. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here is Eckler. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Murray now. He's airing it out for Williams. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. Switch.
On 3rd down, Fields. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. D Ford has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Back now in Atlanta's second quarter action, the Falcons with the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bears will take over at their own 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Josh Allen has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
And that's their first sack of this game. But how about last week? 6 sacks. Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Undercrush. Show it up. Tight dog.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. 2nd down, Murray sets to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Murray going to throw. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Murray off play action. Eluding the pressure right. He'll run it. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 8 yards that time. Able to take off, and the result is a first down. Running on first down, Eckler. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Murray buying time to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Kelsey, the intended receiver there. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run with Lindsey. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Steps, and he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Following the sack, they go from the 13 on 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Fields. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
After the turnover, here's Murray. Steps away. And got his man complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. He got 29 yards that time. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. First down, a run with Cohen. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Murray. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down. Murray with a third and long. Going up top. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up fourth. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this? And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. Murray now on first down. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. To throw, it's Murray. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still fourth down. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the pass,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D. Ford in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 and what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him to find him. Find him.
51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Murray. Got his man. It's Williams. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. Murray now, 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Murray now on 1st down. Open man, Arcega-Whiteside.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
This pass finds its way to Williams. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. He was looking for his tight end, Kelsey. Well, they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Josh Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6.
It's a foot race. That's complete to Arcega-Whiteside. 20, 10, touchdown, Chicago. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, an 80-yard touchdown as the Bears push further out in front. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust? And a big loss here as he's taken down. Zadarius Smith make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Back to throw. Fields. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 15. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. He's had it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. Play fake. Murray rolling to his right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Darius Slayton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. To throw on 3rd down. Fields. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remote's clicking off right now. He may try and run for this. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Another run by Lindsey, and he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And now here is another interception. Picked off at about the 31. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Again, it's Cohen. Oh, Cohen lost the football. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Back now on EA Sports as the kick teams are out here following the 2-minute warning. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Zadarius Smith in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Throwing on 3rd and long. Fields. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here comes Cohen. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. Time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Chicago, they continue.